Here's a way to radically simplify your understanding of human design that you're not probably going to find on Instagram or TikTok. And it's funny because it's like section 1 of the human design book. Basically, in human design, we have a personality crystal. That's going to be the sun gate on your personality side right there. You have your design crystal, which is your vehicle, your body. That's the sun gate on your design side right there. And then you have the magnetic monopole or the driver. Now, the reason this is helpful and more simplifying is because it kind of gives us a why in terms of using our strategy. Because see, our strategy and authority are embedded into our physical bodies. In other words, there's a specific turbo in your vehicle that is not in other people's vehicles. Or there's specific suspension or tires or lights or speaker systems. Like, you have things activated within you that not everybody in the world has activated in them. And vice versa. People have things in them that you don't have activated in you. And instead of having to learn about all of this, if you just understood this image right here, you'd understand why it's so important to use your strategy and authority. Side note, if you have no idea what your this even looks like, body graph, you don't know what that looks like, go to ReikiMarco.com. You can generate one for free. Okay, now back to the images. The general psychosis that we find ourselves in the 21st century, 2024, is one where the personality crystal is getting all of the clout and all of the praise. You're so smart. You did such a good job. You look so good. And the vehicle and the driver get shit on. This is why there's such an epidemic of people with mental health and emotional health issues, to the point now where there are people who are physically having problems or physically, dismantling themselves. And this is why. It's because this personality, this consciousness you have here is not your physical body. And even beyond that, you're neither the personality or the crystal. You're more like the driver. Now, the driver is the thing that tracks us through time and space. The driver is the one not only behind the wheel with the ability to steer in left or right, or speed up or slow down. He's also the one connected to where the fuck are we going? And you see this one in the back right here, the passenger? That's where your mind should be. Relaxed, confident that the driver knows how to use the vehicle in a way that their guys are going to get to their destination. And instead of focusing on trying to take control of this vehicle, the driver can relax. So how do we get the passenger? How do we get the mind to chill the fuck out and let the driver in the vehicle do what they do? Well, the simple answer is you let the driver in the vehicle do what they do. You do that by enforcing and using your strategy and authority. If you're an emotional projector and someone creates an invitation for you and you're in an emotional wave and you say, oh, sure, I'll do that thing, because your mind thinks, oh, if I do this thing, this person will like me. And I really want to be liked by this person. Based off of your circuitry, that interaction will probably not go well. And you will have a story in your mind about how nothing works out for you. Or that even when people invite me to things, they end up not being good. But it's because you didn't follow your strategy and authority. Now let's flip the tables. Let's say you receive that same invitation and you're in an emotional wave, but instead of just responding to the invitation and doing what you think is going to be best, you notice, oh, I'm in an emotional wave. Hey man, I really appreciate the invitation, but I'm in an emotional wave. Can I get back to you? Move the story along, Marco. Okay, things go great because you followed your circuitry. Now your mind is starting to see the vehicle and the driver doing some shit that the passenger knows, wow, I couldn't do that. Let's take this example even further. Let's say you're a random civilian stepping onto a Gundam, okay? A giant mechanical suit that's meant for fighting in outer space. There's a pilot on that Gundam, which is our vehicle, who knows how the vehicle works. He knows how to swing the arm, he knows how to lift off, he knows how to dodge attacks, all that. Now, you might know how to drive manual, but on a Gundam, you're about as useful as a poopy flavored lollipop. But let's say you've watched videos about Gundams on YouTube and you know some famous ones, or at least you know some people who know some famous ones, and oh, your brother's boyfriend's girlfriend was a pilot once. Don't make this more confusing, Marco. Just get to the fucking point. Instead of being hypercritical of the vehicle and the driver, saying like, oh, the other Gundams have 10,000 rockets, you only have 900,000 rockets, or the other Gundam's driver has a cooler helmet than you. Instead of comparing the vehicle and the driver to everybody else out there, the mind could do things like, how could we make you more relaxed, driver? Or how could we actually improve the vehicle, driver, considering the fact that the mind can actually be of aid to the body and that they don't have to be fighting each other. If you want even more details about how your passenger and your vehicle can start to get along better, look up the personality sun gate and the design sun gate. Again, those are going to be right here in your placements. It's the very first one. Personality sun gate's going to tell you about your mind and your consciousness. Your design sun gate is going to tell you about your body. When your mind observes your driver and your vehicle doing things that are good for the vehicle and good for your direction, not what you think where you're supposed to be and who you're supposed to be, but your actual direction. Like when you are fulfilling the space that has been made for you on this planet with yourself, that's when you're moving in the right direction. How do you know? Well, you're using your strategy and authority and you're just heading in that direction. You're using your natural circuitry as opposed to what you've normalized with your mind. When you pull off these moves of using your strategy and authority, the passenger over time will become pacified. They will start to relax. They will start to say, hey, you know what? The driver and the vehicle, they really got this. And I can now devote myself to higher functions like creativity. Or rather than thinking I am the problem or that my vehicle or my driver is the problem, I can actually solve real problems in the world. Let me know if this was helpful for you. If you don't know what your human design is or you want to learn more about human design, visit ReikiMarco.com. I've got a bunch of resources for you. Charts, readings, community, all kinds of stuff. Thanks for tuning in. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Peace.